Now let us discuss about encoder. Now we have to see the definition of encoder, block diagram, truth table, boolean expression and circuit diagram of encoder. So what is encoder? What is the definition of encoder? So encoder is a combination circuit that accept 2 power n input lines out of which one input is activated at a given time and it produce n output lines. So that means encoder it converts numbers or letters or character or symbols into coded format. In other words, encoder it converts a human friendly information into a coded format for processing using machines. So we know that what is combinational circuit? The combination circuit means the output depends on the present input. So, generally, encoder is a reverse operation of decoder. What is decoder? Decoder means it accept n input lines and produce 2 power n output lines. What is the difference between a encoder and decoder? So, encoder means it converts information from its original form into a coded format, while decoder means takes that coded information and convert it back into its original form, essentially reversing the encoding process. In simple words, encoder it translates the data into a code, and decoder means it decodes that code back to its original information. So that is difference between encoder and decoder. So generally there are different types of encoders. Some of the commonly used types of encoder in digital electronics are 4 is to 2 encoder, 8 is to 3 encoder, that is octal encoder, and decimal to BCD encoder. So this is a general definition, general information about encoder. So encoder means it accepts 2 power n inputs and produce n outputs. So, what is the purpose of using encoder? Encoder reduce the number of lines required to transmit information from multiple inputs to a single output. That means which can simplify the design of the system and reduce the cost of components. So, generally, whatever the information given by the user, that information is converted into binary bits. Uh, that binary bits by using encoder, it is used to reduce the binary bits. Now let us discuss about 4 is to 2 encoder. The block diagram of encoder, it accept 4 is to 2 means it accept 4 inputs, that is D0, D1, D2, D3, and produce 2 output, that is X and Y. Next to truth table for encoder. So it accept 4 inputs D0, D1, D2, D3, and the outputs are X and Y. So here D3 is most significant bit and D0 is least significant bit. So already we know that what is the definition of encoder? Encoder is nothing but a combination circuit which accept 2 power n input lines out of which one input is activated at a given time and produce n outputs. So here there are four inputs. Out of this four inputs, out of this 2 power n inputs, one input is activated at the given time. If the D naught is activated, then the remaining inputs are inactivated. If D naught is activated, then it produces 00 as output. Suppose if the inputs are 00 1 0, that means A1 is activated, that is D1 is activated, then it produce output as 0 1. If D2 is activated, then it produce 1 1 0 as output. If D3 is activated, then the outputs are 1 1. This is a truth table for encoder. Next, now we have to evaluate logical expression for encoder. Logical expression for this truth table. So what is the output? X and Y. What is X and what is Y? In X, when it gets 1, that is D2 plus D3. So what is of output of X? D2 plus D3. And what is the output of 1 when the Y gets 1? That is D1 plus D3. So this is a logic expression for 4 is to 2 encoder. Next, logical circuit diagram. So we know that what is the 4 inputs? D0, D1, D2, D3. These are the input lines. So what is the output? X and Y. That is D2. Where is D2? So D2 and then plus D3. So D2 plus D3 means plus means OR gate. That is single curve. D2 plus D3 is the output of X. Next for Y, D1 plus D3. That is D1 here input and then another one is D3. So D1 plus D3 means OR gate. That is output of Y. So once again, what is meant by encoder? Encoder is a combinational circuit that accept 2 power n input lines and produce n output lines. That is, it is a combination circuit which converts 2 power n inputs to n outputs. So actually, where we using encoder in digital electronic application such as data transmission, controlling, automation, communication, and signal processing, etc. The reason for using encoder include data encryption. The first one is data encryption for making the data secure, and second thing is whatever the information sent by the user, that information should be converted into binary bits. Then we will have more binary bits. It will take while using more bits, it will take more power and bandwidth. Then it reduce accuracy. In order to overcome this problem, for that purpose, we are using encoder. So encoder is used to reduce the binary bits while transmitting the data. That is 2 power n to n bits. Thank you.